Good morning. Welcome to day 58 of the 100-day project. This is day 57 and 56 and the video's up and you're welcome to go watch. Today I'm going to grab a circle die that I've got and I'm going to cut some circles and we're going to make a bird. Let me get my stuff and we'll get started. First I'll show you what they look like. I made some, not sure when, I didn't date them, but I don't think I ever made a video. I think I made these during the time I was not on YouTube. They're a lot of fun actually. They're very cute and you can see that they are very easy. You don't have to have a sewing machine, but I did stitch on mine. You could put a hole here and hang them. You can make them anything you want. A tag or something that you want to put on Easter gifts. Even make them Christmas. Make them with Christmas fabrics or make them with Christmas paper. The reason I say fabrics is because I cut out fabric also and I just made some round fabric, little embellishments. And I never finished them. I haven't done anything with them. And one day I will. But you could take these further if you wanted to. So let me show you the birds real quick. These are so cute. I just love these. And I have plenty of them, but I wanted to show you guys how I made them so that you can make some. And you can probably tell how to make them. They're so simple. And I'm pretty sure there's no video about this. I'm pretty sure. If there is, then there'll just be another video. Here's some circles that I started and never finished. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 circles in a bird. I backed them with another big circle. Okay, so let me show you what I used. And you don't have to have this. If you have punches, you can use punches, except you can't punch fabric very easily. Fabric goes to the die cut machine really easy. But I used this die right here. I think this is one of the original first dies I ever got when the machine was one of those you push down instead of electronic or roll through. It's got the 4 circles. Then I have some paper. This is just paper that was in my scrap bin that I want to make the circles from. This is my little pattern that I made. I should have dated. I didn't date it. I should date my patterns so I know when I make them. And all I did was I made the circle with the die. You can make it with punches, like I said, or hand cut them. I made the tail by hand. Very simple. Just even if you stick 3 fingers down and trace around your fingers and then come down to a point, you could make your tail. And then I have a couple hearts. This is my heart pattern for the wing. And this is a bigger one if you want a bigger wing. And then the nose is just a little scrap piece of paper. That's a triangle. And then I have a button that I stitched on or glued on. I think I stitched them onto the heart, but if not, I glued it on. And the sewing machine. But if you don't want to stitch around in circles or make funky stitches on your feathers, then you can, I wouldn't hand stitch. That'd be awfully hard. You could just glue them down and maybe draw some stuff on there or leave it plain like these. Or add decorations on here so that your bird looks all covered up here and everything. But I really like the stitches. So that's what I'm going to do. Next step, get your papers ready for your die cut. Okay, I just put my first plate down and I put my die on it. And then I see what size paper I need to fit on my die. You are also going to need papers for your tail. If you don't want to use the papers you have for your circles, then get some other scraps or whatever. And you can make this one of those scrappy birds. Like you could make a master board, then cut out your circles from your scraps. That'd be cool. And this is a perfect time. If you're going to cut out circles with a punch or whatever, go ahead and just do a bunch of them. I'm just going to do the one round today. Line it up on my plate. I used to have my machine set up at a station across the room, but I don't do that anymore. So I've got to set my machine up. So I'm just going to do it right here on the table. And I make my little sandwich. And I'm going to set this aside while I get my machine ready. I can't get you up any higher, but this is a Vagabond machine. In case you don't know what it is. I liked having a station set up. I just don't do it anymore because it takes up space that I want to use for something else. Just slide your little sandwich through there. Okay, I have all my circles cut. There's really no need to show you the die cutting process, but some of you might be new and might not know what a die cut machine is. That one is electric, and there's other ones though that you get the same setup, the plates and everything, and you just set it in and you crank it through, so you don't have to have one that plugs in. The old kind is the kind you press down. Here's all of our little circles. Now we have more scraps and circle templates. So I'm just gonna pick out which one I want to be the front. You see the bird here. Okay, there's the front of the bird, and let's say I want my bird to be more blue. And then I pick another one from this size. And because I need a backing, I need another large circle. So I'm gonna steal one from over here. Okay, so now that's the front and the back. And you're gonna need a tail and you're gonna need a heart. I'm gonna make her tail out of this paper. So I've gotta cut two, and then I'm gonna cut a heart out of this double-sided purple. And I'm not sure which size heart I want, so I might cut both and then test both. For the tail, just make a shape that you like. There could be a tail right there. Or take 3 fingers. Just go on your fingers like this. And then come in at an angle and make that your feathers. Tweak it that way. Get a good starting point. So I'm going to trace out my tail feather on the back and cut 2 of these. Got my tail traced out. Now you could do this freehand. You could just put your pattern down and cut it out that way, but I like to trace it because then I can tweak it if I want to. I can make my feathers longer, I can make them a little fatter, but I like this shape. But because I want 2 and I want them to fit together, I'm gonna cut my paper in half and cut them at the same time. When I glue them together, I want them to be the same shape. If I trace 2 and do it this way and I fold it over, it won't match up right. So I'm gonna lay this right sides together and cut my shape, and then when I put it together, they'll both match. Okay, because I cut them right sides together, now I can just slip them together like this and they match up really well. And they're gonna go in between the 2 large circles like that. So that's what she's looking like so far. And then I want a beak, and I'm just gonna use this paper here and see if I can find a beak. There's a beak right here. You can make it long and skinny or squat or whatever you want. It's going to go in between the 2 large circles also, and it'll be glued in. Now I need a heart. Okay, I took both of my hearts because I don't know which one I want, and I traced out the large one and the small one. And because this is double-sided, you're going to have to trace on whichever side you can see the best on, or just cut freehand. And so I went ahead and traced, and then I'll just cut it out, and if I miss any of the lines, I'll erase it. Okay, I have my 2 hearts cut out, and now I want to decide which one I want to make the wing. It's kind of big. It covers a lot of tail. That's kind of cute though. Put this one there, put this one. I actually like that, I think. So we're gonna go with the small heart and probably that side. Let me get a button, then I'll show you how I put my bird together. Found a button, and this one already has the string in it. It's my favorite kind, the kind that already has a string in it. So I'm just gonna be gluing mine on, but we do that last. I take my 2 big circles and I put my beak in place where I want it. I want my bird either kind of looking up like that, or out, or down. I kind of want my beak up like that, and my tail like that. I'm going to remove the top circle, and I'm just going to glue my little beak down right at the edge, about where I think I want it, and test it again, see if that's good. If not, you can move it in a little bit before it dries. Then I've got to put my tail on. Because I stitched them, I don't need to glue them together, but I do want them to stay together enough for me to stitch. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my tail, glue it together, and once the glue dries, I'll run it through my machine. Then I'm going to place it on my circle where I think I want my tail, maybe about right there. That'd be cute. So I'm going to glue that down, just enough to hold it in place. You want to leave enough that your stitching will catch right through here. And one thing I forgot to do is give my beak a backing. So I need to give my beak a backing. So I'll just cut out another piece, glue them together, and then glue my beak back on. Be sure and pay attention to your papers and make sure that you don't leave one backing exposed like I just did. While that's drying, I'm just gonna go ahead and assemble my little circles together with a little bit of glue, just enough to hold them together so that I can stitch them on the sewing machine. I don't want tons and tons of glue because I don't want to run this through a machine with tons and tons of glue, but a little bit won't hurt, especially since I'm using an old machine and old needles. If you are not stitching, be sure and glue really well so this stays really well. You can put a hole here and hang it, or decorate it like I said earlier, or just add your heart and your button and be done. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mine to the sewing machine. I'm just going to go in a circle stitch, and it's not a free motion machine. It's an old Singer. So I'm just going to go around the best I can with the ability of the machine, and it's going to look kind of raunchy like that, but I like that. It's just so funky. So I'm going to go around in circles on my bird, and then I'm going to follow my tail around. And then when I get back, we'll finish the bird. Okay, here's my bird. The next thing I do is I use Distress ink And I just go around my bird just to cover any of the white areas that might be poking through because I didn't cut straight. I do not stitch on the nose, and I also don't stitch the heart because I don't think I could get a good stitch. My other machine, I could do it, but I don't want to use gluey, papery stuff on it. I have my mother's machines. I need to drag one of those out and have it available that does all those funky stitches. And then I'm going to glue my wing on in whatever area I want, and I think I want it kind of like, make it a fish, change the beak, make lips, make it a little fish. That'd be cute. Maybe we'll do some fish one day. I'm just going to glue my button on because it's already got the string in it, but if I didn't have string in it, I would stitch it to my heart and then glue my heart on. And I'm just going to take a little dab of glue and glue my button. This is just Sobo glue. It's just what I have on the table handy. Use any kind of glue that works for you. Okay, there's our little bird. You could give her an eye if you wanted to. Put it up there, put a little button there, put a little bead there, whatever you think or like. And if you want to make her a tag, put a little hole here. I wouldn't use the standard size hole punch. I would use a smaller hole and put it here and put a little string. I think these would be really cute at Christmas time, made out of paper bags or Christmassy looking paper. Hang them on your tree. Okay, hope you make some birds. Make them for your Easter baskets, make them for your journals, whatever you want to make them for. And I will see you tomorrow for day 59. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great whatever it is. Bye-bye.